Ladies and gentlemen, we are just waiting for our chief guest and we will begin very soon. Thank you for your patience. Ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest will be joining us shortly and we will be beginning very soon. Thank you for your patience.
Can we begin, Pallavi?
Yes, Pallavi.
Sure. Do we have our chief guest with us now? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this one-of-a-kind event that addresses the current challenges faced by our nation. This is an initiative to come up with as well as implement creative solutions that would have a long-term impact on our society. Now, please may I invite Flow Mumbai chairperson, Ms. Malu Natarajan, to commence the event.
Thanks, Pallavi. Good evening and welcome to the inauguration of the fabulous online expo, Windows for Weavers. I'm Malu Natarajan, the chairperson of Flow Mumbai. My team and I are very delighted to host this initiative today. A warm welcome to our very own dream girl and MP Hema Malini. Thank you very much for accepting to inaugurate this event. We are waiting for the other chief guest, Honorable Minister, Mr. Aslam Sheikh. He's on his way. Special thanks to our panelists, past presidents, past chairs, and the members of Flow in Mumbai and Pan India. FICCI Flow was established in 1983 as a division of the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. As an all-India organization for women, Flow has 17 chapters pan-India and over 8,000 women entrepreneurs, professionals, and corporate executives. Handloom textiles and crafts hold a special place in India's cultural heritage, weaving being a source of livelihood for millions of families. Nowhere in the world can you see so many diverse weaving techniques together in one single country. The importance of cotton and textiles, for example, is highlighted since the days of the Indus Valley civilization. History has it that in the foreign trade back in the days of East India Company, the Indian muslin and cotton were of finest varieties and were used a great deal to reap profits by the colonialists. Sari diplomacy and Khadi cult are used to promote the finesse of Indian weavers on the global map. The need of the hour is to communicate, disseminate, and engage with not just the global audience, but the Indian diaspora and the local population through these cultural expressions. The government's Make in India, Vocal for Local, and Atmanirbhar Bharat programs present a huge opportunity to the handloom sector to further strengthen India's position in the global market. Currently, the handloom sector has been severely affected with the markets for artisans being totally closed due to COVID. While the impact and the initial shocks of COVID-19 have had a negative impact on the poor rural and urban livelihoods, the opportunities are immense. As a short-term solution, our job is to help the weavers sell their produce through digital media and help them financially. The long-term solution would be to help improve the looms, work with the government on the various schemes, and partner with the weavers in a collaborative manner. And this is aligned to our national goal as well. That is what Windows for Weavers is all about. Beautifully curated by our EC member, Temina Khandwala, along with the team. Thanks to Jailam Dalvi, one of our newest members who helped with the digital platform, and to all those who helped us get the produce together in a very short span of time. I would also like to proudly state that Neeta Lulla, an internationally renowned designer, is our member, and we are very confident that she will help us help the weaver community in a big way going forward. What the weavers need today is not charity, but calculated support. Thank you once again, and welcome to the launch of Windows for Weavers. Over to you, Pallavi.
Thank you, Ms. Natarajan. And now, moving forward, please may I request Flow Mumbai Vice Chairperson and the curator of this event, Temina Khandwala, to introduce the very eminent actor and BJP MP, Hema Malini.
Thank you, Pallavi. It's my pleasure to introduce one of the greatest icons of the Indian silver screen, a trained classical Indian dance performer in the styles of Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, Mohiniyattam. A keenly sought after dancer, Hema Malini, even at an early age, she could hold audiences of any color and hue spellbound for hours together. She has given numerous jubilee hits and has paired with almost all the top actors of the time. She has also forayed into television production and direction, emphasizing the role of women in society. Drawing from her vast knowledge of classical dances, she has choreographed stage musicals such as Ramayan, Meera, Savitri, Durga, and so on. Her latest stage production, Ganga, is a grand spectacle that was staged earlier this year. These ballets were presented by her institution, the Natyavihar Kala Kendra, have touched an appreciative chord among millions of viewers throughout the world. Hema Malini is also an editor of two well-known magazines. She finds these magazines are a platform to project her views on contemporary social issues with particular reference to women. She has been awarded the coveted Padma Shri for her contribution to Indian films and arts by the President of India. Hema Malini is a recipient of several Lifetime Achievement Awards for her contribution to Indian cinema as a word of art and culture. She was a she was a chairperson of the National Film Development Cooperation, a Government of India unit, through which she supported the production of several meaningful films that were screened in various international film festivals worldwide. And another feather in her cap was when the Government of India bestowed an unprecedented honor on Hema Malini and offered her the prestigious membership in the Parliament of India in 2004, which she readily accepted. Hema Malini was conferred doctorate in philosophy by the Sri Padampat Singhania University, Udaipur, the JJT University, Junjunu. Rajasthan awarded her the honorary D.Litt degree. She was also awarded the Sri Ratna Awards. Her political career at the center, which began as a Rajya Sabha member, had led her to addressing various issues of vital importance to the nation as well as the environment. The years have rolled by, but the shine, the verve, and the enthusiasm have not dimmed in Hema Malini. In Mathura, people by and large have given a lot of love, affection, and respect in the constituency, and this was evident in 2004 general elections as she took over the constituency and she was re-elected to the same constituency again. She focuses her energies on good living conditions, major transformations in health, education, sanitation, industries, and employment sectors. As Hema Malini strides gallantly forward in every facet of her life, she still remains humble to her people and all her fans. She lives on everyone's heart as the one and only dream girl forever. Presenting to you, Hema Malini.
Thank you, Temina. Of course, Hema Malini ji does not require any introduction to any of us. Hema Malini ji, would you please speak a few words on your thoughts for today's event?
Namaste and good evening to everybody. Minister for Textiles, Fisheries and Port Development, Shri Aslam Sheikh ji, Ms. Mallu Natarajan, Chairperson FICCI Flow, and Ms. Tehmina Kandapala, Vice Chairperson of FICCI Flow, Mumbai, the panelists Neetaji, Sonali and Sangeeta, and everyone who is part of the event today from across India. It's my pleasure to be a part of Windows for Weavers, a Make in India initiative that promotes handloom weavers from all parts of our country through this expo. This initiative supporting Paithani, the original weave from the state of Maharashtra, on an online platform is meant to protect this glorious traditional art of weavers, to support them and to eliminate intervention of middlemen in selling their produce to the buyers. Flow Mumbai, along with its team of powerful women, has come forward to protect the livelihood of these skilled artisans who have been severely affected by the pandemic. I understand this week-long online exhibition will help viewers connect not only to regular customers, but will also enable them to have a tie-up with designers and sell their art in attractive prices to the customers. This comes as a sustainable solution to the keepers of our Paitani heritage. I must mention here that I have a beautiful collection of Paithani saris, which I use regularly at event, and some I have preserved for my daughters to use later on.
Oh,
Deeply passionate about our traditional weaves, I genuinely respect the master craftsmen who wear nothing less than magic into every yard of fabric. I personally have always preferred handlooms over any other fabric, and I own a varied collection of Paithanis, Kotha, Patola, Kanjivaram, Upada, Pochambali, Balucheri, Maheshwari, and Chanderi, to name a few. In fact, of my work life in my constituency, Mathura, I use the Chanderi cotton saris, which are vibrant and beautiful and ideal uh, to use in our Indian weather conditions. During my travel abroad as an ambassador of Indian culture, I have always depended on our handloom sarees, especially Kanjivaram, to give the finishing touches to a perfect traditional look. Handlooms have been an integral part of costumes in films as well as on stage. In Bharatanatyam, we use Kanjivaram sarees, and when we do Kuchipudi kind of dance, then we use Pochambali or Upadas, And when we do Odissi dance, it's a Odisha weaving kind of those kind of sarees. We use all those. I'm glad that my friend Neeta Lullaji, one of the most prominent dress designer of Bollywood, is here. Neetaji has worked with me in films and for my stage productions too, as she perfectly knows which fabric suits a particular character or occasion. She drapes me in the most exquisite saris and costumes using these traditional weaves. Seeing Fiki's initiative in promoting the traditional handloom weaves in general and Paitani in particular, I am now inspired to especially mention this initiative in the central ministry and promote this proud heritage of the state of Maharashtra on a large scale and on nationwide platforms. I once again congratulate Fiki Flo Mumbai for this noble effort and wish you the very best in your effort to save the artists and their traditional weaves. Thank you so much for making me a part of your program.
Thank you so much, Hemaji. Such wonderful words spoken by you. And of course, you are a true admirer of the and their craft. So it's amazing to hear from you. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the moment that all of us have. May I please request our guest of honor, Srimati Hema Malini ji, to announce the expo open.
Yes.
Thank you.
You, please.
Thank you, Haji. Dear audience, as you all are aware, today's event has been organized to pinpoint and solve a very grave problem being faced by the weavers clan of our country. We have curated a short video film that highlights and explains this challenge. Please take a look. Can we please have the AV played?
Each humble loom and each weaver who sits behind that loom is keeping alive India's art, tradition, and cultural heritage. Every part of this country has its own weaving tradition, from the Banarasi in the north to the Kanjivaram in the south, from the Paithani in the west to the Tangail in the east. Millennia old weaving practices are being kept alive today by generations of weavers. Now, the clackety clack of the looms has fallen silent as COVID 19 has forced everyone indoors and brought the wheels of commerce to a grinding halt, threatening the livelihoods of thousands of handloom weavers across the country, even perhaps forcing them into other occupations and shutting down their looms forever. These weavers need our help. And Flow Mumbai is ready. Ready with technology, outreach, and training. Fiki Flow protects livelihoods, fosters enterprise, brings together skills and people. So it was only a matter of time before this network of powerful women brought relief to the handloom workers of the country. In a two-stage process, Flow Mumbai will mediate between maker and market to create a sustainable solution to the problems brought by the pandemic. In stage one, Windows for Weavers, a week-long online exhibition will showcase some of the best products from weavers from across the country. Attractive prices of quality weaves will entice buyers into taking home weavers' efforts. This will be followed by a long-term collaboration between renowned designers and weavers to harmonize tradition with trendiness. Fun and purpose will combine to restore livelihoods and even create new ones. Do join hands with Flow and take a part of India's heritage home with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a heartfelt gratitude from Flow Mumbai to each one of you for supporting this cause. And we have with us now our chief guest, the Honorable Minister of Textile, Sri Aslam Sheikh ji. And may I request Taimina Khanwala to kindly introduce him.
Thank you, Pallavi. And it is my honor and pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest for today, our Honorable Textile Minister Aslam Sheikh. He was elected as a municipal councillor in the year 2002-7, chairman of the Prabhag Committee from 2008, later elected as municipal councillor from 2007-12, third term MLA from Malad West constituency since the year 2009 till date. He was appointed as a panel of Speaker of Maharashtra Vidhan Sabha by the government of Maharashtra. Also appointed as a Minister for Textile, Fishery, Ports, Government of Maharashtra since December 2019. Guardian Minister for Mumbai City since January 2020. Chairman Rationing Vigilance Committee, Malad Rationing Office, Government of Maharashtra. He has held various posts for the National Congress Party, working as the General Secretary of Mumbai Regional Congress Committee since 2050 till date, worked as the Treasurer of Mumbai Regional Congress Committee, appointed as Election Observer of Indian National Congress Party for the state of Madhya Pradesh and West Bengal. He works for the All India Congress Committee. I present to you Honorable Minister Aslam Sheikh.
Thank you, Tehmina. Thank you so much. May I please request Shri Aslam Sheikh Ji to kindly address the audience and the occasion.
Thank you so much for inviting me in this program, and I'm so sorry I got a little late because the COVID conditions we see was going on with the CM and all the other collectors. So I apologize first to be a little late, and congratulations for taking an initiative for this textiles, which is the need of the hour right now. This industry is the second job-giving industries after farmers, where most people get jobs because of this. Maharashtra has a very rich heritage of traditional weaving handloom. Basically, handloom industry is a traditional industry which caters to the need of the traditional economy. The traditional economy is associated mainly with rural and semi-urban areas and ethics and differences within the country. However, its product, techniques and method of organization that are very different. As the country makes transition from the predominantly tradition, it is the more modernized economy. Character of this, it's a small industry is also expected to change. Main handloom product, if you go to see in Maharashtra, is in some district, would like to know like Paithani, Yola district in Nasik, and if you go to see for towel and napkin and bedsheet, pillow, cottons, and sarees are from Sholapur. Himru shawl is from Aurangabad, and super fine silk. If you go to see now, we are coming up in a very big way for the silk also. So these are the major things which is happening in Maharashtra. And right now, the condition of textile all across the country is not that good. But I have taken up this challenge now since my government has come. It's only 7 months past, and in that 4 months are gone in this COVID only. So once this goes up, I will definitely try to do and try my best to give whatever best I can do for the industry. Thank you so much for giving me time to speak.
Thank you so much, Aslam Sheikh Ji. It's an honor to have you here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, as expressed by the famous author Napoleon Hill, first comes thought, then organization of that thought into ideas and plans, then transformation of those plans into reality. The beginning, as you will observe, is in your imagination. So with this thought, let's move into our panel discussion titled Windows for Weavers, for which we have the most eminent panelists gracing the occasion. Please may I now request Mrs. Jailam Dalvi to introduce our eminent panelists for today.
Can you unmute yourself, Gina?
Thank you, Pallavi. It's my honor to introduce the panel of today to all of you. Beginning with, of course, our very renowned, doesn't even need an introduction, Nita Lulla ji. Nita Lulla symbolizes elegance, romance, and opulence. Known for giving, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Known for giving a contemporary touch to aboriginal textiles like Sri Kalahasti, Kanjivaram, Banarasi, Paitani, and Kalamkari, the label offers the perfect fusion of cultural and ethnic influences blended with contemporary design that celebrates tradition and evolution through its collections while intricately weaving every garment to perfection with impeccable artistry and quality. Moving on to the next panelist, Sonali Kulkarni. Sonali Kulkarni started her career in Marathi films at a very young age while pursuing a degree in mass comm from Pune. She played the title role in a woman-oriented film in her debut film, which also won her the Best Actress and Best Debutant awards that year. She's known for doing versatile roles in films like Mithwa, Classmates, Zapat Lela 2, being commercial flicks to historical Rama Madhav and Ajinta. Sonali became the Apsara of Marathi cinema with Natarang, her most popular film that is remembered as a cult film which did phenomenal commercially as well as won several awards. Sonali also won Maharashtra's favorite heroine and the most popular face for Natarang and has continued to rule the Marathi film industry since then with her acting and dancing abilities. Her recent film, Hirkani, is the first historical female oriented film which became a huge commercial success. It also won her yet again the Best Actress and Maharashtra's Favorite Actress Award. Sonali has completed over a decade of acting in Marathi cinema. Coming to my third panelist, Sangeeta Wadhwani. Sangeeta Wadhwani is a prolific author, lifestyle magazine editor who has been a powerful editorial force with Hello, Elle and Elle Official magazines. She's also an enthusiastic fashion maven and avid traveler. Over to you, Pallavi.
Jailam. So, jumping right into the discussion, I would like to begin with Miss Neeta Lula. I believe there is a video that you would like to share with us. Can we please have the AV played? Neetaji, I think we would like to hear you over here describing what's being shown in the video.
Need to unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself, Neeta. Try, please try.
Okay, it said that the host had to unmute me. So yeah, a very good evening to the Honorable Shri Aslam Sheikh Ji. Ma'am, it's a pleasure to share this platform with you and to be here and to hear such kind words from you. Fiki Flow, it's a fantastic and great team. I would like to just share a small video on the evolution of Paithani, and I have a few words to say about this. So here goes. Paithani, a rich silken textile craft of Maharashtra, has continued to captivate the populace since time immemorial. Once adorning the queens, it gradually became a staple in a Marathi bride's wedding trousseau. Exquisite patterning is achieved in the insertion of an extra weft in which the weaver manually counts the threads and creates enchanting designs. The distinctiveness of the paithani lies in its detailed pallu, which is woven mainly in gold zari. Often the saris are woven in dual colors, with the warp and weft threads dyed in different colors. This gives a unique sheen and visual exquisiteness. Finest quality silk threads come from various places and are now sourced in Bangalore. The fact that a majority of women are involved in the weaving process indicates a new order in hand woven textile industry. A cloth woven exclusively for the elite class, the silken Paithani sari flourished with royal patronage. It owes its origin to the Satavahana kings of the 2nd century BC. The town of Paithan, in which the textiles developed, is close to the world-renowned caves of Ajanta. The splendid painted murals inspire quite a few motifs used traditionally. Among the major ones in the Bangdi Moor, which is peacock in a bangle, Ajanta lotus, and the Tota Maina, that is the parrot couple. The silken saris enjoyed the patronage of various dynasties that ruled successfully. At the peak of the Maratha Empire, the demand was so huge that it could take months altogether to get a desired paithani woven. Kings across the country invited the weavers to weave in their capitals so they'd get uninterrupted access to regal robes. The famed 19th century artist Raja Ravi Verma has depicted Paithani in many of his artworks. Enamored by its subtle sheen and vivid color palette, the black Chandrakala variety has been captured beautifully in his art. The 20th century scion of Marathi theatre, Bal Gandharva, brought the Paithani saris to the wardrobe of the common Marathi women. With the extravagant saris he would wear to portray the roles of Bhamini and Subhadra, he immensely popularized the Paithani amongst the masses. At the time, certain styles were known by the names of the characters portrayed by Bal Gandharva. Recently, the Paithani sari has garnered a global appeal. As a classic that can be worn to social parties and various events, the vivid hues and golden tints add a subtle yet powerful beauty and charm to the weaver. It has been a sincere effort by our brand as well to take the timeless tradition to the high street fashion walks by introducing trendy silhouettes precisely stitched in hand-woven Paithani fabrics. The response has been stupendous, with Paithani once again being accorded an exalted status in the 21st century fashion jargon. Thank you so much. And I must say that Hema ma'am's collection of saris, I have personally seen them, and I've yet to meet someone who keeps them so beautifully and with so much love. Sonali Kulkarni, I worked with her in Ajanta where we didn't use any stitching on the garments, and we used a combination of Paithani and organic cotton and kalamkari. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. We really got part of the whole traditional weave.
I think we have a small. I think we have a small clipping from Bal Gandharva, which is produced by Nitin Desai. Over to you, Pallavi, to play that little clipping.
Sure. Please, can we have the...
I think that
Can we make that available and play it if it's not readily available?
It's not readily available.
Yeah.
Okay, can we make that available and show it a little later, Neeta?
Yes,
Is that all right?
Oh, yeah, totally. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now, a very warm welcome to Neeta, you, Sonali, and Sangeeta. It's so great to have you on the panel with us today, and we're looking forward to some great idea exchange and exchange of ideas and discussion. So there are some topics of discussion about which we would like to hear each one of you to express your thoughts. So these are questions that I would pass on from one person to another. So the first one being, how can we create awareness about the beautiful weaves of India? So probably we can start with Neeta for this question.
So I think that weaves are something that need no introduction to the global platform. Many international designers have been using woven fabrics through the longest time that I can remember. Ever since I was a student, I've seen international designers using weaves. But however, considering that in today's times, we have so many diverse weavers, so many diverse colors and motifs that are coming up. I think the way to move forward is to be able to bring this to the forefront, especially through the biggest medium that we have. We have two mediums that are really huge. One is the films, through which, as a designer, my attempt has always been to use Indian fabrics in films like Manikarnika, Panipat, and where I've tried and used a lot of Indian fabrics and Paithani weave especially. I think this is one of the biggest mediums that we can have. However, though we do not have this platform available to many technicians and many people, the other platform is, I think, digital media, especially where designers, aspirant designers, younger designers, Gen Next designers could use woven fabrics and create innovative looks which can come onto the digital platform where the world can get access to it.
Okay, thank you, Neela. Great inputs over there, Nita. Now, moving on, the same question I would like to pose to Sonali Kulkarni on how can it's about the of India. Sonali,
Yes. Can you please unmute her? Yes. Yes. Namaskar, everyone. This is amazing to see such a wonderful initiative. I think I'm really privileged and honored to be a part of this discussion here, alongside such eminent personalities who have contributed so much towards this initiative already in their own different ways. I personally believe, like just how Neeta ma'am said, films is the biggest influence that we have in Indian society, and nothing really kind of matches what a cinema can do to the audience and the impact that the film has on especially the youth. So as a part of this generation and the generation after me, I feel we need to create a lot of awareness amongst the youngsters today. So yes, we have people who have been doing this for so many years, but today we need to reach these youngsters and make them understand, realize the importance, not just for the viewers, but also this works as a part of tradition and culture that has been going on for the last 500 or so years. So in order to keep the tradition alive, to keep the culture alive, I think we have to focus the youngsters. And apart from the films, social media today is, I would say, the strongest weapon that we have in our hands. So I think this is one of the biggest examples, this initiative, that we are organizing an online exhibition. I think this is happening for the first time. So this is probably the step forward. And I'm sure, if this is an initiative and this is the first step, we can do more such things in the coming days and make sure that the youngsters are really, really interested, aware, and keen to preserve this culture and tradition that we have in India.
Right. Thank you so much, Sonali, for your inputs here. And before I move on to Sangeeta, Hema Malini ji has to attend to some other commitment of hers. May I please request her to say a few words before she leaves?
Neeta ji has been my designer for a very long time. Whether it's I'm personally acting in the movie or I'm making the movie, she's always been there. Especially from Bagban, I found her so interesting. Such beautiful sarees she gave in Bagban, which became very, very popular. Apart from that, my dance stage presentations, she has done such wonderful work as Draupadi. As Draupadi, she has given such a wonderful costumes, which is very different, not little traditional at the same time. It's convenient to dance on the stage for 2 hours and looking very special. And also, as when I did Yashoda Krishna, she made really a beautiful dresses, which I cannot explain. You have to see to believe it. I wish I can show you those pictures. And now, most recently, she has made Ganga. I made a ballet on Ganga. I said that Ganga has to be, that the costume has to look like it's a water flowing. And then how beautiful costume she has made, one after the other, is something just you have to see to believe it. So I have a lot of faith in Neetaji. She's really wonderful and a lovely person. On top of it, she's a very good friend of mine, and that's it. So I'm very happy to be associated with her always. Thank you so much. So it was wonderful being with all of you.
Thank you, Hemaji. It's been an amazing opportunity to interact with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for those lovely words. And I was just telling them how we used so many Kanjivaram saris for Isha's wedding and for Ahana's wedding, and how you selected and picked each and every sari.
Yes.
And we cut up
Yes.
3 Kanjivarams for Isha's outfit to
And
make her
Ahana's
lehenga.
made. And also some of my Kanjivaram sarees, she transformed into a very modern look by adding kalankari work in that, applique work she made it. It was something very beautiful. So that all this kind of very special work, keeping the Indian tradition in mind, she can only give this kind of thing. And especially for my daughter's wedding, she was superb.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
ma'am.
much for sharing these personal experiences with us.
Yes.
It's really heartening to know about these. Thank you so much. And thank you for being with us, Hemaji. Thank you so much. Now, moving on, please may I pose the same question to our panelist, Sangeeta Wadhwani. How can we spread awareness about our traditional weaves? What are your inputs on that, please? Sangeeta, can you hear us? Do we need
It's
to
got to be unmuted. Yes. IT, can you please unmute Sangeeta?
I think the host has to unmute because we're all getting
Yes.
muted and
Sangeeta, can you hear us? So,
IT, can you please unmute Sangeeta, please?
Malu, Sangeeta's video is not on too.
okay, so probably we can move on to the next question and
Yeah.
get in touch with Sangeeta.
Yeah.
In the
Okay,
meanwhile.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Hi. Nice to have you here. Is your video on? I'm sorry, I'm unable to see.
Yes, yes, she's on. Yeah, go ahead, Sangeeta.
Okay. So basically, I have seen in my years covering lifestyle and fashion in Bombay that there is a phenomenal excitement about fashion innovation. And if you go to any Lakme Fashion Week, there is a stampede of young people dying to get seats in the arena to see what is unfolding on the ramp. So the first wave of change can come if our body of fashion designers collaborate and say, let's just dedicate one fashion week or one season to revisiting Indian handlooms and Indian textiles and weaves. And let's think of independent and individual ways of reinterpreting these beautiful textiles and fabrics. And this would be very, very, very powerful because with the digital amplification and the Instagram and the influencers and the front row people and all the fashion brands and magazines, the amplification would be phenomenal. So this would be a very realistic suggestion that I would give to people at Lakme Fashion Week, that you should just dedicate a season to visiting Indian handloom and Indian textile through the window of different design approaches and perspectives. The second suggestion I would give is, which is actually something I saw done by Vogue magazine, I think in its first few years in India. They went to international houses, all the very, very renowned houses like Chanel and Ferragamo and Gucci and Prada, the topmost fashion houses around the world. And they said, all of you create something original using Indian handloom or Banarasi silk. Yeah, and that was so beautifully executed that I still remember. It must have been 5 years ago. So even if here in India, we approached very renowned fashion labels and told them that, you can create shoes and bags, and innovate with accessories. It doesn't always have to be garments. Using Indian handloom and original textiles and weaves, you would actually have a gamut of very beautiful things in the market. Right now it's happening in a very unorganized way. It's definitely a revolution, is definitely happening. There is a back to the roots and back to the soil movement in fashion, which we have very beautifully recorded in Hello Magazine. We, I think, dedicated about 10 to 12 shoots with different designers who were revisiting Banaras weaves and different weaves. And today the brands that people immediately think of are Raw Mango, and of course Abu Sandeep reinterpreted chicken curry, and they used it in white color, which was very anti-fashion at that time because white was associated with funerals, but they made it very trendy and very cool to be seen wearing white chicken curry. So in a sort of a broken, scattered way, the designers have been working with great pride with Indian crafts and Indian embellishment and textiles. But if they came together and they dedicated a platform to it, that would be really powerful.
Sure, that sounds like a very logical input. A lot of work is being done all around, and probably the collective force can make the task really turn out even bigger. So, and before we move on to the next question that I would like to pose to our panelists, our chief guest, Aslam Sheikh ji, would like to share a few words before he leaves today. Aslam Sheikh ji, please maybe have a few words from you. IT, could you please look into this? Is he muted or? All right, so I think without wasting more time here, I would pose the next question to our panelists. And
I don't want to ask any question. Yeah.
So the next question being that in this world where mechanization is all around us, what can be done to keep the weavers still competitive and relevant? So maybe Sangeeta or Sonali, you could take this up. Sonali, do you have your inputs on this?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, we have a very, the situation right now we are into, and the kind of initiatives that have been taking place for the last 1 year or so since the Make in India has begun, with initiatives like being vocal for local, I think there's already this kind of wave that has begun where we want to now start promoting things that are being made in India, and, local brands, local artists from various fields. I think this is the right way where we all should jump into and help these viewers. And, all right, I think I now should begin on the social media, because we do a lot of such initiatives when it comes to Marathi films. Like recently, I was a part of this film called Hirkani, where I was playing a character from Shivaji Maharaj's era. And I was wearing, obviously, the outfits which were, period, which was depicting the period. And the fabric was irkal. Now, irkal is such a local fabric that I'm not sure many of us kind of know. We know that Paithani is from Maharashtra, but the similar kind of, or I would say similarly popular locally, is also irkal, which is like cotton, and only the pallu has some zari work. So this is western and south of Maharashtra, the southwestern part of Maharashtra where it comes from. So this is also a very, very, I would say, traditional and cultural fabric that needs to come out to people. And these local weavers should now get a platform. So when we did Hirkani, obviously we used these fabrics and we made sure that it became whatever popular in terms of Maharashtra, at least to the youngsters. So now they're all attracted to what I wore in the film, and the youngsters now want to do the look. So since the movie became very popular, people have been started doing videos and doing the same look, posting on the social media, and obviously that is helping the original, the source. So we need to make it like the today's lingo. We have to make it a fad. We have to make it popular in terms of social media, because films right now, we know the theaters are not working, the films are not releasing. So all we need to focus right now is on the social media. And I think that can really help the local viewers get a market.
Yeah, right. I quite agree with you. And going local is quite catch up with everybody nowadays. People want to reach out to the source, cut out the middleman, because they understand that it benefits the source far more. So, what inputs would you have, Sangeeta, on the same question? In the world of mechanization, how can we keep the weavers still relevant and competitive?
So, recent in February, we made a trip to Banaras. It was an assignment that I was doing with the magazine. And we met the oldest, 3-generation old family. They're called the Shanti family. And they are household names for any original works made in weaves, in traditional weaves. They have a task force of 3,000 weavers. But during the pandemic, they admitted that they're out of work and they're trying to sustain them and give them rations and everything. Now, what we noticed, and one of the very interesting points that they discussed with us when we were there, is they are marrying technology and traditional handloom weave. They're not necessarily going to be a binary. There is a new technology which allows the loom weavers to start working on a design that has been generated from a computer. Which I thought was very beautiful in a way, because everything evolves with time and technology has become so synergistic with modern existence that it may not necessarily be a bad thing, provided you're being honest with your technique and you're being traditionally loyal to your look and your feel and your quality of fabric. But if you're actually able to marry a little technical, mechanical sort of workings into your traditional weave, that may actually be a facilitator. Maybe they would increase their output, provided we're able to increase the demand. So it could have very positive repercussions also.
That's a great input. Yeah, they need not be exclusive of each other. It can actually be an evolution, a transition. Until when they're being honest to the craft is the point.
Being honest to the craft and not compromising on what you would create even without that technology. Secondly, what I also feel is that if we manage to tell people that these textiles come with a history, if you educate the consumer, then the consumer starts to value what is made by the loom. Rather than, he should know the difference between what is not made by handloom and what is made by handloom. And I see that is often the case with Pashmina. Almost everybody, every foreigner at the Jaipur Literature Festival loves to show that she's wearing a high quality Pashmina, because they understand that Pashmina is a very, very bespoke creation, and it's using the highest quality of wool. So when you have that level of awareness, you don't have to worry about it so much. The point is to build that awareness. Like today, I know I'm wearing Banaras weave because I bought it from a young designer called Pooja Sharma. And she's created this very interesting one-shoulder look, which makes me feel like I'm wearing a contemporary garment. But it is every bit as bespoke and hand-woven and beautiful to look at and feel like it would be as a sari,
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, so marrying the two together, they need not be anti each other. Mechanization can, in fact, enhance the process. Great.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nita, would you have some inputs on the same question?
Hi, Sangeeta. That was amazing input, and I completely agree with her about the same thing. But from where I stand and where I look at innovation and mechanizing of our age-old craft, I think we need the influx into all aspects of weaving, and here it is very essential for us to use young minds who are thinking out of the box in the sense of technology to be able to boost the weaving loom. The loom should be boosted a little more so that the weaver can make far more amount of products. The family can start looking at possibly staying back into the craft, whereas now you see a lot of the youngsters, the younger generation of the weavers going out and doing a white collar job or studying and getting out of there. So maybe the inputs of using mechanization into the loom. Like you said, yes, Banaras, they've started using a mechanized system for design. Not only using it for design, but also trying to do something with an innovation on the threads, the yarn that's been used is very essential. So if we could kind of revamp the age-old technique without tampering too much with it, using an influx of mechanization into it would take the entire process places with a great more quantum and quality of work.
Yes, right. That I think weaves the entire discussion together around mechanization. So I would now pose a quick question to you, and we move on. Beginning with you, which is your favorite among various traditional weaves?
Didn't hear. I think.
Sonali, I asked.
Sorry, there's some
Yes,
disturbance.
yes,
I
sure.
think I am not able to hear you. Could you please
Are you
repeat?
able to hear me now?
Yes, that's better. Yes.
So Sonali, a quick question. Which is your favorite weave? Which is your favorite weave amongst the weaves of India?
Obviously, I come from Maharashtra, and I belong to this Maharashtra culture that I have been brought up into. So obviously, it is Paithani.
Okay.
Nothing can beat that for me, especially. Also, every Maharashtrian girl has this dream of at least owning one, one beautiful, heavy, rich Paithani. And yeah, and right now I'm looking forward to getting married next year. So I'm kind of walking into my dream and looking forward to that one Paithani that I will wear for my wedding. So yes, Paithani is the.
We so look forward to that look of yours on your very, very special day.
Thank
Uh,
you. Well, I also would like to mention that with Neetaji, of course, I did this film called Ajanta where she designed the whole look for my film. But she also did a show on Paithani. There were a lot of innovations that she did for this Paithani with Paithani, and you saw some. I think when she showed the video, we saw some images, and I was honored to be her showstopper. And the fact that she does so many experimentations with the Indian traditional fabrics, it's amazing to see what she's done and what she's doing. So here's me, thanking her for whatever she's doing. Such a big fan of us. Thank you, ma'am.
we all are. We all are, of
Yeah,
course.
indeed.
So, Anita, a quick question to you. As a designer, how have you been able to contribute to facilitating the weavers? And what more do you look forward to?
So every season I come up with a new collection, which is aimed at using one of my favorite weaves. So it's either Kanjivaram, Banarsi, Paithani, Jizamata, or Irkals, or whatever I can get my hands on, which inspire me at that point in time. And I use it for every collection of mine every year. There is one particular collection which is based on this on the waves. So yeah, as and when I can, and not only do I use it for clothes, I do use it to make bags, to create boots, short skirts, crop tops. And I think I have a lot of fun with my heritage and my cultural heritage and fabric.
It's evident. It's evident in your work. Amazing. So, thank you, Nita. And Sangeeta, the next question is for you. How do you think we can make the weaving as an occupation more attractive to the youth? Can the media
You're right. Somewhere I saw this suggestion that why don't fashion institutes also give people, young people, the option of working on looms, just to at least understand the depth and the gravitas of this lovely tradition that exists in this country. And they should also become aware and sensitized by visiting cities where these beautiful traditional forms are alive, so that as they get out of their fashion schools, they know that they can tap into these vast traditions of textile creation and weave. That would be my suggestion. Now, I'll tell you my experience as a journalist. I happen to meet a lot of Maharanis Of course, today they're not considered, royal in the traditional sense. But one lady who really taught me about the beauty of the Chanderi fabric is from the legacy of the Ravi Varma. She's from the Baroda family, Maharani Radhika Raje of Gaikwad. And we had a look at all these antique paintings of the women of Gujarat, and they were all wearing Chanderi saris. But we, as a lifestyle magazine, brought them heavy, I don't want to mention the name, but heavy couture saris, okay, for the shoot, just for the photo shoot. And the senior Maharani, after we finished the shoot, she said, Sangeeta, she was wiping off her makeup and removing all the heavy jewelry. She said, I am wiped out with these 5 kilo saris. And trust me, in the olden days, we could manage a party serving 200, 300, 400 guests because those saris were chanderis, which allowed us to be highly mobile. So not only were we looking gorgeous, but we were extremely mobile. We were not compromised with heavy saris, you know. So she made me appreciate that even functionally, the
Yes.
traditional weave serves a woman.
Yes, as per the region, the functionality, the practicality has always been the focus. So that's a very interesting story.
Hema ji made that point about the climate as well. So she
Yes.
also wears her kanjivarams, which are heavier when she's in cooler places. And in India, she likes to wear her chanderis.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Sangeeta. And in fact, we would love to appear the kind of stories that are featured in Hello. You're doing a great job there, and we would really look forward if our endeavor could also be featured. It will go a long way in facilitating Flow Mumbai's initiative.
Sure.
Thank you so much for being there with us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Nita, Sangeeta, Sonali, it has been amazing talking to all of you. And for our audience, this festive season, please let's help the weavers, not for the reward, but for the sake of changing their lives. So let the shopping begin. And for that, please do visit the expo from 25th to 30th of September. You can click on the link www.in. So let's shop for a cause. Thank you so much. Now, moving ahead from here, amazing exchange of thoughts, plans, stories, experiences. Now, I would request our Flow Mumbai Senior Vice Chairperson, Lubina Shapurwala, for the vote of thanks.
Thanks, Pallavi. धन्यवाद कहना भी एक किस्म की प्रार्थना होती है. Hence, on behalf of Flow Mumbai, I would like to thank Chief Guest Mr. Aslam Sheikh and our guest of honor, Hema Malini ji, for taking time out and supporting this noble cause for our weavers. I'm also thankful to our wonderful panelists, Nita, Sonali, Sangeeta, for their encouragement and support. Last but not least, a huge thank you to our artisans and weavers for their effort in reviving some of our forgotten and fading handloom forms in India's textile heritage. Keeping our Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat in mind, this initiative offers considerable support to our weavers, enabling them to earn a basic income in these difficult times. I will end with only one request to everybody. Please log in to jlm.in and shop away. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening and happy shopping.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure. All the best.
Thank you. Gaurav, you're done.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Gaurav, we are done, please.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ending the meeting.